said before that you lost quite a lot of weight. Have there been any other physical symptoms from having HIV?
Because they told me that I was diagnosed really early, so I sort of got on treatment within about 5 months from getting it. Because they can do these tests where they can, if it happens early enough, they can do these tests where they can pinpoint within like 2 months and you get it. So they told me I was infected in February, most likely February to March 2013, and because I was then put on treatment in July for the problems I had. Apart from that, so the headaches were really bad, and they got so bad that they had to put me on these MRI machines and figure out if there was any damage. And there was a little bit of temporary inflammation, but it wouldn't cause lasting brain damage. Because as you know, I think it's about 1 in 4 people with HIV, if they're untreated, the virus actually damages the brain. It can go so bad that you can effectively become, in the worst cases, you become a vegetable. So they checked all that out, and then so that was it was that the headaches were bad, and it kind of made me lose. I had problems at work because in my job I have to focus very much. It's a very brain intensive work. Fiddle with the servers and everything that I do. So I kind of lost concentration. I made a lot of errors at work, and I even got a bit clumsy as well. I don't know if it's because of that or because it was just my general state of mind, but it was I definitely noticed the change, and I did get tired a lot. I had some night sweats, but it was definitely, the fatigue was quite bad. Like when I went to gym, which I didn't stop, and I could feel that there was something quite not right. Apart from headaches and the feeling weakness, and then the sort of lack of concentration now, and that all stopped. And it was great not to be able to feel that kind of clumsy or have to get my concentration back.
Yeah,
that was one of the best things of starting medication. And I'm really glad, because I realized that had I stuck my head in the sand, I could have just went undiagnosed and taken my aspirins every day and kind of not thought about this until I got really sick, and I was glad I didn't do that.
Are you aware of bug chasers?
Yeah, I am actually.
And what are your opinion on people that will chase the virus?
I think that they must be like lonely, and maybe they feel like they want to get in some kind of club, because I did think about it a lot, like why would you want to do that? And I can only explain that they think it's a bit like people who maybe, I don't know, they want to hang out with people who are really bad, like in prison or something like that. That's the only reason why I can think of it. But it's really definitely something that they should go and talk to a psychiatrist about.
Do you think a bug chaser will possibly become a gift giver once they had contracted the virus?
No, because then I think a lot of them probably regret it, because like I said, when they get headaches or night sweats, lose weight and start realizing that this is nothing to play with, and they have to get blood drawn in the beginning every few weeks and take pills which hopefully won't give them side effects, but it takes time, and they may feel sick in the beginning. Then I think that they would have thought, oh, why did I do this?
Okay. What would be your message, if you had one, to the young people out there having unresponsible sex?
Well, since they say that 1 in 6 gay men in London have HIV, and a lot of them don't know about it, that means that a lot of them are not on medication, so the chances of getting it it's very high. So I would say that you should assume that everyone you sleep with will have it. Because if you sleep with sick people, then technically you would have slept with someone who has it. Yeah. So you should always be careful, and if you have, like I did, a broken condom, you should go to the doctor and talk about the options for treatment. Okay. No schoolboys. Oh, you know what I saw on the weekend? Gay guys talking about AIDS. No, he doesn't even know what it is. I should ask him if he knows about it, if he's having safe sex and if he's going to use the condom. Sorry. Okay.
So we've been talking about a lot about the virus and contracting it and blah blah. Are you gay or are you straight?
I think I'm bi actually, but it's kind of the lifestyle kind of is easier to guys. I don't know why.
And I asked this question to Mark Chassis in one of my other videos that I did for bisexual guys. Now you saying that you're bisexual, do you think being bisexual might contribute to the spread of HIV?
Not really, because there's straight people that have it and gay people that have it. Again, as long as you make sure you're either safe or you're on treatment, then it's not really an issue. I was told by my doctor about the study where they followed, I think it was like 670 people in relationships, and one person's relationship had HIV and one doesn't have it, and then they all had unsafe sex for 2 years, and they were following this they were informed and they were agreed to it because they were in love or something like that. And then they checked how many people got it, and they said that 4 people in the whole study got it, but then they did further testing and they found that they can check the genes of the virus, and they found that they found that those 4 people actually got it from outside their relationships, so the actual transmissions were 0. So I think that as long as you're responsible and you get checked out and you get on treatment, it's not going to contribute at all.
Do you want children?
Yeah.
And how would you go about that now?
It's funny because I actually discussed that with my doctor because I'm curious, and the kind of medical response is that as long as you've been stable on treatment and undetectable, this is the key thing, that they can't find any virus in your blood, because even though the virus is all around the body, the blood is a good indicator of whether the treatment is successful or not. So if you've been undetectable for 6 months, they think that there is pretty much no chance. They say that with a disclaimer that it can always be possible, especially if you don't take your medications properly. But as long as you take them properly, there's probably a bigger risk of getting hit by a bus across the street than spreading it. So their advice is that you should be able to have kids as normal as long as you've been on medication for 6 months and above. So that's not the barrier. The only barrier is that people still have this. People are so scared about this. If you're gonna tell a girl about, oh, I've got this, she might be a bit scared about it.
Yeah. Do you think we're close to a cure?
Yeah, I think now. In fact, when I was in Los Angeles, I was going to take part in the trial. This is very cool.
Okay.
It's funny because I've got a friend who's in the same boat, who's got a friend who's done it, but he actually he's bisexual, and he met a girl at the clinic, and they had kids, but then they're both on treatment, so obviously the kids can be fine.
Okay.
So that's one way of doing it. But no, I mean, it shouldn't be a barrier at all. Because in the old days, before treatment was so successful, they could wash the sperm, and it was complicated, and you'd have to go to a clinic, and it was expensive, and sometimes the NHS wouldn't pay for it. But with the new medications, they say that the medications are so effective that you don't have to worry about that anymore, and there's no point in washing it because there is no virus there.
Okay.
So about the cure thing, so I tried to apply for a cure where they were going to use the cancer drug to try and flush out the virus, because it's all about the virus is hiding too deep in the body where the drugs can't get to, and it sort of has its own little microlife there, and this drug was going to wake them up, and then when the virus is woken up, it runs around, but because your medication it can't multiply, it just runs around until it runs out of energy and dies.
Yeah.
And then you will get cured. When they did that test, they have to have some traces of virus in the blood to measure it, and you have like viral load tests, and they usually say undetectable.
What is viral load? Just tell the viewers what viral load is.
It's how many virus copies or particles or little virus monsters per milliliter of blood. So if a sick person not on treatment can have up to several million, that's bad, you're quite sick.
Yeah.
And then if you're on treatment, the goal is to bring it down to undetectable, and because tests don't pick up every single little one, they say you're undetectable if you're less than 50, I think. Now, even in the US, it's 20.
Yeah.
So, but even though it's less than 20, they got this very sensitive test which the scientists use when they study for cures and things, which they're very expensive. They don't use that when you go to the clinic for checkups, because these tests may cost £1,000 or more. So, but if they're going to look for a cure, they have to find those individual monsters below 20, and usually they can find 1, 2, 3, 4, because they hide around somewhere in the body. So when they did a test with me in April, they said that I was disqualified because I couldn't find a single monster. So they said it's good news for me, but it was obviously meant that I could have been in the trial, because they need to find something to go by. So I was quite happy about that, even though I couldn't be in the tribe.
I noticed you use the word monster quite a lot in that sentence. Do you still hold negativity towards the condition?
Well, I mean, it's not a nice thing to have, I suppose. It's not something, I know some people are walking around saying that, oh, they kind of, it's like, I saw this one guy on I think it was in a magazine they talked about it. He had it for 25 years, and he said, oh, we're kind of married now, it's my other friend in me. And I would never see it as a friend. It's an unwelcome parasite that needs to go. So yeah, it's a monster. But it's a monster with just control.
That's it, and thank you so much, Jason, for having this chat with me.
Thanks, Morris.
It's been lovely having you on the channel, and I hope your story helps out other people who are affected by the condition, and also educates those and the stigmas behind it.
I want to say one more thing, actually.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when people get the diagnosis, people usually turn two ways. Either they get really, really sad and they leave work and they don't go out for a couple of months, or what I did was I thought, I'm going to fight it because it's a monster. So I decided that it wasn't going to affect me at all, so I went to work the next day. I don't expect everyone to do that, but the best thing is if you try and lead as normal life as you can. So go to work when you can, maybe take a couple of days off, but not more than a couple of days. Go to the gym, go to your friends, go out in a nice park, cemetery like this, and try and live a normal life, because don't let the monster get you.
Well said. Thank you. Bye, Homo sapiens and Marbites, and hopefully you will see this video soon, and like, share and subscribe.